Doing well. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm sitting here in Los Angeles, baby. We're going live again. Is this a normal thing, you ask? Probably not. But hey, let's go for 2 days in a row. What do you think? It's raining here in Los Angeles. It's another dismal day. I think a few months ago there was no rain at all, maybe like last year. And then we went through this wave where there was like rain every day, and this entire city was like shut down because people don't know what to do when it's raining outside. It's interesting. But I personally love the rain. I remember when I was in college, I used to go running outside in the rain. It was like one of my favorite things to do. It almost like just brings peace of mind when the rain comes. So I don't mind it too much. Honestly, I actually enjoy the rain. There's something about just I don't know, water falling on you when you go outside. It like wakes you back up to reality. It's fun. But I hope you guys are doing well. I really do mean that. Life is precarious, people. In fact, I was reading today that I was reading yesterday actually that Kate Middleton, Prince Harry's wife, has cancer, and she has stomach cancer, which is never a good sign when someone has cancer. They didn't reveal what kind of cancer it was, but my mom had ovarian cancer, so that affected everything in her peritoneum, right, all the organs and stuff. So stomach cancer is tricky. I'm not an oncologist, but I've researched it very well, and the thing about the stomach cancer is there's so many organs there. All right, so when it starts spreading, it's really hard. But they did surgery. Who the hell knows what's going on with uh with the royal family? I'm sure they're not disclosing the stages and stuff. But whenever I read that kind of stuff, it always like makes me go, "Oh my God, Jesus!" Just good morning. Thought we talked about cancer first thing in the morning. No, but I only bring it up because when you wake up every day, you have to really go for it because you don't know what can happen to you. I have this friend who's not really a friend, but I did this modeling shoot with her, and I just looked online and she has a GoFundMe. She's got like some stage 4 cancer thing, and they're trying to go into clinical trials for her, which is never a good thing when you're doing clinical trials, which means the chemo is not responding to it. So it's just like if you live your life, you got to go for it. Make the most of it because it's probably gonna end traumatically for all of us in some capacity. Um, in fact, I was just listening to I had lunch with a friend of mine, dinner, and his mom has dementia, and it's horrible. It's like, oh my God, is this what's coming for us? Like this train coming for us at like 90 miles per hour, right? You can't escape it. So I always try to put things into perspective, even though, like, I was having lunch with a friend, a comedian friend of mine. I'll name drop Richard Savarte, who's very funny, who I'm actually going to interview on Sunday. And I was telling him, I was like, dude, right now, us just getting coffee right now at the middle of the day at like 12 p.m., this could be the highlight of our life right now. Like, we're both healthy, we're both doing what we want to do. We're hanging out on on whatever Thursday, whatever it was. I was like, this could be it, man. So, if you have a day where like nothing happens in your life, traumatically, that's a great day. That's a terrific day because man, so many people are going through shit on a daily basis. You know, um, I was reading about, or I was on TikTok, and this documentary called "Quiet on Set" keeps popping up. You guys see this? It's like this documentary about um, the Nickelodeon era. What's going on, Adam? Do I know Adam? I might. Who the hell knows? What's going on, Adam? Do you have any questions? My name's Tarun Shetty. I'm a comedian in Los Angeles. But I'm watching this documentary, Quiet on Set. It's like it's basically about the Nickelodeon era when this guy Dan Schneider was running all these shows like Drake and Josh and iCarly. And Dan Schneider, if you guys don't know, he was on Head of the Class. He was an actor. And I guess he's a very talented writer because he started running all these shows and writing and producing all these shows. But he had an iron grip on everything, right? He was just a monster to work with. Dan, like Google him, and he'll come up. He's like this huge, like fat guy or something, right? But the backstory is, I had an audition at Nickelodeon, like back in the day. And I remember, I think I met. Hey, Brina, thank you so much for all your comments. Happy Saturday. I didn't know. I didn't even know it was Saturday. I just I thought it was Friday, really. No, but I met Dan Schneider, and he was totally nice, but I didn't really had no interactions with Dan. But my buddy, who I'm gonna actually go in YouTube Live with on Monday, he was Dan's assistant, and he wrote this great blog. His name is Paul Moon Jeans. You can look him up on Instagram. He wrote this great blog about being Dan's assistant, and I told Paul, I was like, dude, you've got to send this to CNN or Vulture or something because someone will reprint this. It's so great. And he was his assistant for about a year, and then like he got fired. But man, the abuse this guy had to go through being Dan's assistant. But I was telling Paul, by the way, I'm going to interview Paul on Monday on YouTube Live. If you want to check that out, come back, and we're going to do it 1 p.m. PST time, California. So you can ask Paul questions about his time. But I was telling Paul, that is a microcosm of how Hollywood works, right? This is a different world. There, like, you can treat people like assholes. Like, I was an assistant in agencies. Man, I saw people get stuff thrown at them. And I was an assistant to a guy named Tyler Grasham, who's passed. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but he was an agent. And man, this guy was, I remember this guy was like hitting on, like, 15-year-olds, right? His clients and stuff. And it was like a running joke in the office. Like, this guy's like a pedophile, right? And of course, years later, like, he got charged, or he was fired from APA because he had multiple accusations or something. Anyways, he's dead now. But I'm just saying, this stuff, this toxicity, runs rampant in Hollywood. Yeah, I know. To blog about that does take courage. It does. So, but I also think when you have a blog, if you go through experiences, you have the ability to share your thoughts with the world. It's your choice whether you want to take that public or not, because so many people choose to sit on secrets and just shit they go through, and they don't express it for good reason, because Hollywood is a small town and it can cost you work. For example, with Paul, in Paul's case, I think in Paul's blog, I don't think he'd mind me saying this, he actually ended up suing Dan, and he must have signed an NDA or for the undisclosed amount of money. So, but I'm sure Paul was one of many people, right? And I can tell you countless stories of people who I encountered who were assistants to high-level executives, and that's just what Hollywood is. If you're lucky and you work for the right person, it can change your life. If you work for the wrong person, I think when Harvey Weinstein was on trial for all the shit he went through, one of his assistants testified against him. Like, she had to like coordinate like these meetings and etc. So that's the risk, the risk you run, right? And it's no different on the talent side, on the production side. So again, this all comes back to sitting here as it's raining and enjoying the peace of mind. Like even though this is the weekend for you, this is every day for me pretty much. Like, I've got to wake up and just go and just make stuff. So I do wish all those people who suffered atrocities on Nickelodeon the best. I hope they had great careers. And I hope Kate Middleton, I was talking about Kate Middleton, I hope she's okay too, because, who wants to go through that? The royal family, like, cancer is cancer and it affects so many people. So it is what it is. What am I going to do today, you ask? Well, I am going to, yes, hope people find the courage to rise above it. Uh-huh. I agree. It's a horrible thing. I have a set tonight at this hostel in Santa Monica. I'm gonna do stand-up comedy at this hostel. So I'm excited to go do comedy. It kind of brings me peace of mind. It's kind of like my through line in life. It's what I've been doing since I was 18 years old. I've been doing stand-up forever. And it kind of just keeps me going. In fact, this is a great quote. I heard Mark Maron, who's a great podcaster, he was describing stand-up and he goes, stand-up's the only thing that kind of seems interesting to me, you know? And that's how it is for me. Because sometimes I'm like, this is not really the only thing that keeps me interested. So if you're ever just floating through life, like think about what keeps life interesting for you. Because that really helped me a lot. I was like, oh, you know what? It gave you some clarity of like what I should be doing. Like after I'm done with this, I'll probably sit down and write jokes and go to the gym and work out some material, I guess, tonight. That's pretty much it. And yeah, that's it, people. It's really nothing else. If you guys have any questions, again, I might go live with Shazia tomorrow. Shazia Pascal. Hope you guys enjoy that thing that we do every week. It's great. Writing grounds you. That's great. I'm glad you write, Rena. Writings, it's a great thing. In fact, I always tell everybody, yes, are you having a stroke? Yeah, I am having a stroke. Every day seems like a stroke for me, man. You have no idea. Or girl, who the hell knows? But I try to keep the ball moving. In fact, if I can tell anybody anything, the more you do something, the better you get at it. You got to keep that ball moving. So if you're a writer, like Rena is, Rena, am I saying that right? Thank you for watching the podcast, Rena. I appreciate it. Or if you do stand-up comedy, or if you're, applying to law school or something, right? Maybe you got to keep that ball moving. Like you got to have motion because inertia will kill you. It really will. You got to keep going forward. So that's why I do stand-up. I know. Oh, I didn't say this is wisdom. This is more just you wasting your time. So you choose what you want to do with that. Uh, but this is Hollywood, baby. This is where it's at. I'm also trying to raise money for a movie right now in Hollywood, which is a battle on its own. Independent production. We are in your comedy cafe. Thank you for being in my comedy cafe. There's really nothing to learn from this. If you watch my other videos, you know. Do I have a Kickstarter? No, not yet. You know what? Because this movie that we're doing, we need like $10 million. So it's not really an independent movie yet. So I appreciate you wanting to give money, but it's not really in the ballpark of raising money. We're actually still going to the studios and stuff. So, if that doesn't work out, I'll probably just rob a bank and just go from there. But I appreciate it very much. But making a movie is also no joke, like that's a commitment, and it stresses me out whenever I think about. I made this movie years ago. Well, thank you very much, but you're still watching, so what does that say? I made this movie years ago called Bobby Khan's Ticket to Hollywood. You guys can watch it on YouTube. It's a full feature movie. I'm in it. Theo Vaughn's in it. A bunch of comedy stars of today. They're all in it. Hope you guys check it out. And I produced this movie. I wrote it and I produced it. I co-wrote it with a friend and I produced it. My friend directed it. Man, it killed me. I spent 3 years making this movie. It was like one of the hardest things I ever did. I'm really proud of it. Thank you for that movie. And thanks for watching a decade later. I don't know if that's good or bad. But every time I think about making another movie, I always think about that movie, and I'm like, God, do I have the energy to go do it? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I was better looking back in the day. Now, like my hair is thinning, and like I wear glasses and everything. But I've let go of all that shit. I mean, it is what it is. So, in fact, in fact, it's funny you mentioned that because uh, looks is, as I got older, I was like, I got to let go of like this thing of got to be good looking because I was a model in my 20s. But as in Hollywood, as you get older, you have like people have meltdowns. I'll tell. I mean, I had so many model friends, and they just had like meltdowns as they got older, like just crazy plastic surgery, and just you could see like their ego just crumbling, right? And I'm like, dude, that cannot happen to me. So whatever happens to me, just happens. And thankfully, actually, you probably could be right. It's all from the alcohol and weed. There is a lifestyle out here in Hollywood, and it's detrimental. I spend a lot of time in comedy clubs. Dude, I don't drink alcohol. And the reason I don't drink is because I'm in comedy clubs all the time and I see the effects it's had on people. Like just the weed, the alcohol, and these guys are like, like plus 200 pounds. They don't work out. And, this shit catches up to you. So whether you're a comedian or doing anything in life, you got to keep that together because man, if your physical and mental crumble, everything else will just go, man. Like it'll have this trickle down effect. So I do work out, though I try to work out. And if I don't work out, I'll go for walks. But I don't know what. You kind of threw me off track. I was talking about making a movie. I'm just saying that the movie I made 10 years ago, I always think about that. And I think about what's happiness, right? Like, what's happiness for you? So for me, this is happiness. I just had my coffee and I write jokes and I'm going to go do stand up tonight. And that's enough. Like, why do I have to produce a $10 million movie? That's going to bring me incredible amount of stress, right? So that's what it is, people. Do people actually want to be in Hollywood now? You tell me. I mean, is this like a dream life? Because I know a lot of people who want to come to Los Angeles and live their dreams. But I was in Portland. Oh, that's pretty good. You do horizontal pull-ups every day. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. Do pull-ups every day. Uh, is that a joke? Maybe it's a joke. I can't tell. I was in Portland 2 weeks ago doing comedy, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, some people wanted to go to Hollywood. Now they make their own mini movies. That's a good point. That's a good point. You don't have to live here anymore. Like the market has totally changed. You can get stuff going wherever you are in the universe. And also, Humbled and Christian says, I would never go to Hollywood. Yeah, you know what? Some people hate this place. That's totally fair too. I have a friend, I don't want to say his name, but there's a show called The Byron Allen Show, right? And he's got this talk show where like he interviews comedians. It's called Comics Unleashed. And look it up, right? And it's like a low budget talk show. This guy flew to Hollywood, did the talk show, right? And he hated it so much, and he's supposed to stay with me. I'm like, dude, where are you? I'm gonna pick you up. He's like, I can't stay in this town. I got another flight back. And he flew back the same day right after he finished taping. He went back to New York City. So I couldn't blame him. I was like, I get it. This is not for everybody. I like the appeal of Hollywood. It's definitely fading for the moment with the strike streaming. You know what? That's the thing, fatherhood. Like the appeal is everything. Like there's like a magic here. And look, you might love it. I don't want to, I'm not trashing. Oh, look, I've been living here for 20 plus years. So people might like it. It's just you got to know what you want out here because you can get lost in the shuffle. I've seen so many people come out here and become like strippers or drug addicts. Like you can really lose yourself. I mean, I could be a meth head tomorrow if things go off the rails. I mean, things have already gone off the rails to me a little bit. But oh well, Humble, you should have come to the comedy show. I was in Lincoln City, Oregon. You could have come out and seen me. Tickets were only like $15. You had your chance. So, but I love Portland, man. It was great. Portland was amazing. No, you can probably kill me working out because I'm not in the best shape right now. Now, Portland's beautiful. In fact, here's a quick story. I'll tell about Portland. I was a bad guy on the show called Grimm, and it's way back in the day. This NBC show, and I was a bad guy. I was called a Fanzazar. I turned into a snake. I don't know what episode it was. You can look it up, but I was like there was two Indian brothers on the show who tried to kill the main star. I was one of the brothers. So I go to Portland to film this show for like a week, and normally when you shoot on set, like you're just like in makeup forever. You're in your trailer. You're waiting to shoot. Like they never start in time, and they gave me like a 7 a.m. call time. Like, and this is in Portland, and I love Portland so much. I would just drive around, like work out at nights, and go to the woods. And so I was so tired from the night before, I was like running like 5 minutes late to set. It was like 7:05. And I was like, they're probably doing some other shit or just. I drive on the set like everybody is waiting for me. I drive on, there's like 10 people like just waiting to shoot me and like, where the fuck are you? Like your call time was at 7. And I was like, oh my God. And apparently they were shooting my scene first and they like, took me to the trailer, threw makeup on me, brought me to set. And I was like, wow, I forgot. This is like, dollars every second. And I fucked up bad. I was so afraid I was gonna get fired or something, but they were cool with it. After that, I set my alarm like an hour ahead. I was like, I can never be late for the rest of the week because this is terrible. Uh Dude, you have a different look. Thanks. I don't know what that means. Am I hideous? Doesn't matter. Portland is a cool city. I love the Pacific Northwest, even if it's raining. I know, me too. I thought it was pretty cool. But I also think that anywhere you live is cool, right? In fact, a friend of mine told me, he said that he feels like he's running out of time. Like there's so many places you want to live in. And as you get older, you just feel like there's only so much time you have on earth to live in these places. Like I've lived in New Hampshire, lived in Boston, New York, Florida, now LA. And I would love to live in Portland for 6 months. I'd love to go live in Spain. I'd love to go live, these different, because there's different like ecosystems, different people, and really, there's only how many times can you restart your life again and just transplant yourself? Some people do that, and I guess I'm in position to do that because I'm not married, I have no kids, but I also feel like I have X amount of time in this universe, and I've got to, finish my goals. So just going to Portland, it'll probably be cool the first 3 days, and I'll be like, I've had enough coffee. Do you speak Indian? Do I speak Hindu? Oh, it's actually Hindi, not Hindu. Uh, no, I don't. My parents speak Telugu. Telugu's the language from Bangalore. And even that, my Telugu's gotten horrible because my mom passed away and she spoke it to me and nobody speaks it to me. So I feel like I could, I don't even know if I can, I mean, I understand it somewhat, but like I was at my mom's friend's house who speaks Telugu and she was speaking it and I was like, God, I'm like forgetting this shit. This languages go so quick. That's the thing, So I mean, if I was on the moon, I'd probably forget English, right? Who knows? You all kinds of people. No wonder you're a comic. I think that's a bad thing. All kinds of people in the sense of personalities. Well, somebody said that to me actually because I was telling her, all this stuff, and she goes, "This is just your temperament of a comedian," and she's absolutely right. Like all my comedian friends were all insane. Like all of us were all insane. We're all wired completely nuts. I mean, to go on stage in front of an audience is completely insane. So if you're a comedian, God help you. I used to live in Santa Barbara, right by the beach. Oh, Santa Barbara is beautiful. If you take for granted what's cool about your city until you leave. That's absolutely right. Santa Barbara is beautiful, by the way. I did a show at the Comedy Hideaway a couple months ago, and it was awesome. Just a great town, Santa Barbara. And yeah, you get used to it, man. I mean, just think about all those people who live in India or in these slums, and so it's just. Can you imagine living here, where like I can go to a coffee shop, I can go to the gym. I mean, these little amenities you take for granted every day, and there are people just living in these other conditions. No way you look like you can play different roles. People find comfort and familiar. Um, You know what? Actually, humbled and Christian. You're right. Actually, and here's why you're right. Because I was an actor for many years, and what I realized is people get cast on who they are as people, right? So, whoever you are, like you're actually just playing yourself on TV. Most actors are. I mean, there's very few exceptions. Character actors like Johnny Depp or the guy from The Holdovers, I forget his name. But most everybody is playing a version of themselves. And if you can really be good at that, being truthful, playing yourself, you're a good actor. That's what, yeah, exactly. Comfort, familiarity, which is why that you see the same actors over and over again in different roles because people like that. That's I love seeing Tom Cruise because there's something about seeing Tom Cruise, and even Tom Cruise. I don't think he's a character actor. I think he's just really good at playing himself. Which is why, look, I work as a TV host during the week on the show called Showbiz India, and you know what I like about it? I'm just playing myself. I'm not playing a character. I'm just being me, which is why I can, jump on here and speak and rant for hours saying nothing because I really do enjoy hosting, right? Being able to communicate my thoughts, being able to, go on Showbiz India every week and just, report on entertainment news. It's fine. I really do enjoy that. You have a race of the world look. I don't even know what the hell. Dude, are you like drunk right now? What does that mean? Race of the world. Does that mean I can pass for different races? I mean, I think that's what you're saying. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I appreciate that, but actually, I really have never passed for Latino or anything like that. Although girls have thought I was a mixed race, like Indian and white, but I'm 100% Indian, and I'm proud of that. In fact, I never changed my name. It's Tarun Shetty. Probably should have, but I always embraced my Indian heritage, and I've always tried to be the best version of myself. So, but if you can play different ethnicities, those people do work a lot. Everybody comes up to me and says they know me. Yeah, that's a good thing. Maybe you're famous. I mean, maybe you have that familiar face. Maybe you should do commercials because commercials people are casting for, you know, affable personalities and faces. So maybe that's your sweet spot. Maybe you were meant to move from Portland, wherever you live, to Los Angeles and pursue your dream. Maybe we should switch lives. You can live here. I'll live in your trailer in Portland, and you can do YouTube lives, right? And you can talk to, talk to people, and I'll be messaging you. I mean, maybe this is we should do like a role play switch, like a movie. But you find your path eventually. I really do believe that. Like everybody is eventually just kind of guided toward a certain direction, and you play your best card, whatever that is. If you both switch, that would be a movie. Yes, it would. I live off the grid. Oh, that's awesome. I really do love the fact that you live off the grid. I thought about that, living off the grid, but then I feel like I'd get really bored. Like I make my own like butter and food and just can you imagine? That's awesome. I really do. You hunt your own food and stuff. Oh, that's the best. I did this thing in high school where I went hiking by my it was called Outback or Outward Bound, and they took a bunch of us. It was like a private school, but let's listen to this. They took a bunch of us and we went camping in the woods, right, in the middle of winter in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. And for 3 days I had to camp alone by myself. And they gave us like ration food. I thought I was gonna die. I was so terrible at camping. Like I had to like put flags out, like make sure let them know I was still alive. But I was going absolutely nuts. Like I need the luxuries of life. I need air conditioning. I need heat. I need food. That's me. So I know I would die in like 3 seconds if you left me alone in the woods. All my guns, 5 dogs. Oh, that's great. And you got YouTube. So I mean, you're really not living off the grid. I mean, you're on YouTube live right now. I mean, come on, dude. It's not like you're living off the grid completely. You got like your TikTok channel and everything. Yeah, I know. But you know what, uh, Rena, it wasn't that bad. If it really was a monitored camping experience. Like they wouldn't have let me die out there in the woods. So You do your best. Heading, thanks for the entertainment, Biz Wisdom. Oh, thanks a lot, Father. I appreciate the UTA video, man. I'll tell you. I did that video a long time ago. I appreciate that. And that's when I was probably the most lost in my life. I got a job at UTA, and I was an assistant to a very big reality agent. And, again, who would have thought that I would have did comedy for 10 years, go work at UTA, and then, be back here doing comedy again. Life leads you circuitous ways. Anyways, I should go to my own. Oh, you make your own electric and water purification and rain collector. That's great. So if anybody wants to have humbled and Christianed rig up their house, reach out to him. He's somewhere in the Northwest, and he's got a great business, and he seems like a fun guy. Or maybe it's a girl. Who the hell knows? But I should go to the gym too. If people kill three of my wolves. This is just getting crazy. Guys, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for asking your questions. I do appreciate this. If I'm ever on with Shazia or anybody else, I might do more of these interviews, but please feel free. I mean, that's the one thing I've always tried to do with all my interviews and videos. I've always tried to just, show you what's up. I'm never one of these bullshit celebrities. I'm not a celebrity, but these bullshit Hollywood people who just put on a facade. So please, whatever you want to ask or say, it doesn't matter to me at this point, honestly. I had it for the trainee program, but didn't get it. Oh, that's interesting. What year was this? Did he try was it Michael Conway who put you through the grinder? Because I'll end with this, which I'm pretty sure I told on the video. But the reason, first of all, UTA is an agency. People who don't know, it's a talent agency, and it's very hard to get a job there. And the only reason I got a job there is because I worked for this agent, Tyler Grasham, who I mentioned on this video, at APA, and he wrote me, or I wrote myself a recommendation letter. I said, Tarun Shetty's the best assistant ever, and Tyler was like, he just signed it. So I interviewed at UTA, and I met with Michael Conway, who at the time was the head of the trainee program, and it's very competitive. You have to know someone to get a job there. And I'm doing the interview, and I'm pretty sure he can smell the bullshit on me, because I was like, man, what am I doing here? But I was like, man, I got to get this job. I got to get my life together. Oh, so you're young, man. Yeah, Conway. I think I know who you're talking about. She's kind of hot, right? If you're a girl. I know who you're talking about. She's an incredibly sweet person, that lady. Yeah, Conway. Well, Conway, this is what happened. So anyways, I was about to leave, and I was like, hey, I got this letter of reference. You can have it. It's my only copy. Either hire me, or I'm just going to go back to New Hampshire. And as I was leaving, he's like, you start next week. So you got to take risks like that. I would suggest if you go back to UTA, just keep trying, keep hammering, because honestly, that's a great job. It really is. In retrospect, I probably should have stayed, but if I had stayed, I would have never made, fun videos like this. But it is a wonderful opportunity, and just know that the kids they hire, not all of them are like geniuses. Some of them are complete morons. So if you can get in there and you're smart, you can do really well. You just got to know what you want, because that is a time suck job. It'll take everything out of you. Come over. I'm in the underground home. Why would I go to your underground home? That sounds completely dangerous and insane. I don't even know if you're telling the truth at this point, but it's totally fine. Oh, that's great. Terrific. NBC page panel. I'm just saying shit right now because I don't really care. I got this family friend, and his name's Tarun Shetty. You can look him up. And he's produced so many TV shows. He's so successful, and he's such a great guy. And he started as an NBC page in New York. That was his entry point. So just get in, man. Get in that door, and when you get in that door, bust your ass. Just, like you're probably young if you interviewed for the UTA program. Just, use your 20s to just establish yourself. Because that's the difference between you and everybody else. Because most people are out drinking and trying to get laid. Use your 20s to get ahead. That work ethic is everything, I'm telling you. Um, I put my 20s into my stand up, but if I was to go another route, I would probably just you know, double down on the work stuff. Hey, good luck to you. I hope it works out. And with that said, hope you guys have a great day. You can follow me on Instagram, follow me here, whatever. Okay. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk soon. Take care.